Turn on my stereo till the rhythm melts my bones, 'cause I'm a dead remote.
SJC at the moment, in my honest, humble opinion, is at a peak and still rising.
We're in a position that I never imagined that we would be in.
We are at the absolute top of our game. We're pumping out way more drums than we could ever even imagine.
And I've never seen something grow so much to the point in front of me when I can literally think back 1 year ago and be like, wow, so much stuff has completely changed.
SJC is just off the charts now.
We're in my dream factory. I daydreamed about being in a warehouse like we are today.
Everything around me has completely changed, and yet we're still that company with the same morals.
We're just at an all-time high and growing.
It's definitely at a point where I never thought it would be.
The future is bright for us, and we're all buckled in, ready for the long haul.
At the end of the day, we are all best friends and we are family, and we're making the best drums out there, and it's a qualifying feeling.
For the next hour and a half, you're about to embark on an amazing journey started by my brother and myself in the year 2000. SJC didn't get to the point where we're at without many struggles and hardships. We're from humble beginnings, and we've got a foundation that we built on our own.
Yeah, lived in Dudley my whole life. Small town, bank, post office. Everyone knows everybody. Dad's got a car dealership down the road. My great-grandma, about 10, 15 years ago, built a house, backyard of my parents' house where I was living. That's where SJC was started.
SJC production warehouse in the early days was in Grandma's basement next door. Scott and I lived with my mom and dad next door to the shop.
From the early days, I was not aware of how simple the beginnings were of SJC. I had no idea that it was two brothers starting the company out.
How did I become part of the SJC family? Well, I started it, so I guess that's how.
Scott started refurbishing drums for fun. We both played drums.
My brother ended up getting a drum set a couple years after I took up the saxophone and the piano, and I'd hear him playing beats next door when I was honking on my saxophone, and I got a little jealous, so I started bashing on his drums when he wasn't home.
I had a kit, he got a kit shortly after, spray painted it, recovered it, made it look cool. I kind of got interested in it, obviously, because I love drums. So I said, you know, that's pretty cool. Maybe I can do that to my kit. Maybe we can build a kit from scratch, from the ground up. That would be sweet as well.
He and his brother Scott actually took apart a drum set, kind of analyzed the science behind it, and realized that they could build drums on their own.
Scott was up in school in Maine and decided to put together a drum kit. It sounded awesome, it looked cool.
Took literally a corner, a table size corner of my grandma's basement. I started designing stuff. I guess maybe I took after my dad and just always had a knack for marketing and business and sales. I was in college for a year, and I remember driving home almost every day, you know, through the weekend, building drums with Scott.
Whenever you buy a consumer product that you know is built by someone, I think you have this grander thought in your head that it's a bunch of people working on your item and it's like a big warehouse factory thing. You never really just assume it's one person working on it, which at that time it really was. I mean, Mike and Scott were the only two people touching those drums, so anything that came out of that basement was made by just two people.
Dad's car dealership's right there. Worked there when I was like 12 cleaning cars, and Scott worked in the parts department. It's pretty sweet. That's kind of where I worked there, parking shop, bagging groceries, and at Dunkin' Donuts, which is right down the road from my house. I walked there when I was like 12 years old. I worked at like 6 in the morning. That's where kind of like where we made the money to front SJC at the beginning. We'd work other jobs to work at SJC and get that going, so. Scott and I would just walk through the path to the backyard. We used to have like a door handle and a latch. Actually, it's wide open. Cool. So we'd come over here, open the bulkhead, and this was really our only source of air when we'd be working down there. So to ship a drum set, I would carry it outside the bulkhead, 60, 70 pound, 30 by 30 box, most of the time by myself. Carry it out, put it on a dolly, wheel it over to my parents' house. DHL, which we used at the time, would pick it up, ship it out. That got a little tough in the winter when there was 3 feet of snow. I would have to come out here, shovel a path to my parents' house, bring it over there. That wasn't very fun, and that's where these massive muscles come from, if you were wondering.
Meeting Mike, he was like really the first serious drummer that I actually ever started playing with, and we wanted to start a punk band.
He's like, well, my dad's taking me to get my eyebrow pierced tomorrow, so yeah, let's play the next day.
I actually taught him how to play the fast beat because that's the type of music I really wanted to play.
Fast beat, still can't really play it. But he taught me how. And we were like, what do we want to do with this band? And we need an EP so we can tour the United States. That's all we wanted to do.
I grew up with Mike's first band, Just Fell Short, which then bloomed into No Trigger. I just always hung out with the shows and sell merch.
It's kind of initially what kickstarted the SJC movement. Just me and Mike on the road, touring with bands. And
went to school with him at UMass. He'd start tagging along and coming. I'd be like, yo, can you help? I need someone to cut rap, or do this, or just come hang out, join me on the drive home, because I'm gonna be driving home at like 3 a.m. after I'm done working.
I used to be cutting rap with scissors, man. Like, we didn't have no big machines. We didn't have all the fancy equipment that we actually, worked really hard to get now.
John introduced me to Millencolin and Strike Anywhere and Propaganda and all those bands that really kind of shifted my mindset.
That initial spark with showing him that fast beat was pretty cool.
We took a little bit more of my grandma's basement, making more drums, put a shelf, and I remember being so stoked. We were like, we have four Emperor X heads in stock. That's awesome. Or like 20 lugs, man, that's crazy. I can't wait to order 20 more. When SJC first started, it was, I'm not kidding, like this little basement. Scott and I built this crazy octagonal, ridiculous thing with like jagged edges, all that stored all of our shells. We would have to jump up and dig through all the shells because we had everything stored inside of each other, So getting a single shell was a ridiculous task, and then underneath we just had storage of everything. Over here was all of our lugs and everything. Like the roots and the DIY cool factor of being in a band and doing that. How can I take that work ethic and that DIY mantra and put it towards my business?
The ethic and the creativity has always been the same from the very beginning, and like I said, it was just the tip of the iceberg.
I was in college, it was like 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, and I was like, I wonder if I email the band if they would write back and get a drum set from us. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try Strike Anywhere. So I went on their website, found their email address for the band, wrote to them. An hour later, Eric Kane wrote back to me. Yeah, man, I'd love to check out your drums. Dude, I must have done a backflip or something in my dorm room because I was freaking out. But he wrote back. He called me the next day. We designed a drum set. I drove down to New Jersey with Strader, delivered the drum set. He loved it.
I remember Wagon Shits fucking gets behind the kit and was hitting the drum. Was like, I don't know if we got a good kit here. Well, obviously they did, because they still have SJC.
This is where we did all the shelf storage, all my boxes, like I was saying. Right here is where we keep finished drums. / I would take pictures against this wall. So if you see the pictures before we have the black background of the drums, all the white background was right there against that wall. Right here is where I'd pack all the drums. I had like this much area right here to pack all the drums.
and it was, my mom would help me, my little sister would help me, and we'd pack all the kits, and it was just a very small area. Picture that with a 30 by 30 box getting ready to go out, trying to pack another box next to it. It was crazy. And from here to here was our woodworking room. So that big ass room that you see right now in our current warehouse that has, you know, however many tables and however much space was all in here. This is kind of like Scott's area to work in and do all the edges and everything. It was pretty ridiculous.
From there, it was just like, okay, what else can we do? Scott's favorite band is the Aquabats. I'm gonna hit them up. Next day, they email me back. Yeah, we want a drum set. That, you know, was just like, wow, we can do this. So I remember Streetlight Manifesto coming to my grandma's house. He knocked on my grandma's door and it was like 6 a.m. and my grandma had like curlers in. And Chris and all of Streetlight Manifesto got to meet my grandma, and she just opened the door. She's like, boys, you know, this band is here. And my grandma showing him the basement and bringing him down to pick up his red Sparkle with black hardware kit, you know. Tony Roberto, he played in a band called Duck Hunt. Then I remember him and I jumping in a car, taking his kit. He let me take his kit that he owned and paid for down to see Justin Weir, who played in Monty's Fan Club. It was just this networking spiral that I saw, okay, you meet this dude, you can get to this dude. You talk to this dude, he's friends with him. You make him happy, he's gonna tell his friend about it, and his friend's gonna want that too.
I got out of college and I was just hanging out with Mike, and I kind of like shadowed him to see what he was doing every day. I set up the MySpace, spent all my time doing this weird layout right when MySpace came out. I hit up bands, find them all over the place.
College, both being in bands and running a company.
A lot of overnight spending, not making any money at all, just helping my boys out, getting this company off the ground.
This small area, from there to there, to there, to there, is where I would powder coat. Then I'd walk out, go over here and have like a hanging station for it to dry. Through here, we had all of our rolled wraps, like the big, huge sheets, all shoved in there. A small table right here where I'd do the interior of the drums. The assembly room was just all the parts against this pegboard wall. These were our customer part shelves. Up here was all of our headstock, and these are just shelving for drums that we were working on at the time. Get your Strict Anywhere, your Swellers, the Aquabats for another breath. 5 days off, they're from Belgium. Grover Dill, dude, Grover Dill, Zippy from Connecticut. We wouldn't have been able to do it without any of those dudes. Any of them, we wouldn't have been anything right now. So, side by side, working on one little table all day long for 12, 13 hours a day, pretty much every day for the first 6 years of the business.
So John and I started, you know, going to shows, and I'd talk to bands and I'd go, hey, let us make you a snare, you know, are you interested? And I remember Strader and I drove home to my grandma's house, and I remember saying, Grandma, you know, can we get rid of some of your stuff down there? Like maybe move into the storage, like we need the whole basement. Made a snare for Every Time I Die, went back to college for class real quick, drove the snare to the living room in Providence, Rhode Island, which is no longer even a venue, delivered it to him, he loved it. No better feeling than that, you know, it was amazing. That just kept driving us to do it more and more and just keep wanting it.
After seeing the website for the first time, checking out the bands, I was able to relate with the company immediately.
It grew from there, you know, I started actually getting responsibilities, I started actually working in the shop. You kind of build your position, you know, obviously when someone else is there, another helping hand is gonna grow the company. And
we took up her whole basement and she gladly let us. We paid her like 20 bucks a month in rent for like electricity, and like bought a double stacked kitchen oven to do our own powder coating, just learning how to do things on our own instead of having to outsource it. It wasn't handed to us. We don't ever expect things to be handed to us, nor do we want them to.
I definitely miss it. A lot of memories down here. We were here till 6 in the morning till like 1 in the morning, almost every night, blaring the radio, router tables going off, table saws going off, just loud music, loud noises, us making drums down here, and she let us do it for 6 years. We were down there causing a lot of ruckus and making noise with the router tables, fighting, slamming stuff, and random bands coming in. So
it was great.
Awesome. We miss being here for sure, and
I miss not having them around.
Yeah, and it was pretty small, and even then I couldn't believe how much stuff they had packed into that little place, or the amount of shells that were in there.
And that DIY, kind of approach to the company, I think that really appealed to me.
People would call and be like, thinking that they were talking to some big company, you know, because that's how we tried to present ourselves, like very professionally. And there I was in my bedroom. I was in the band playing shows with awesome bands that I looked up to, and they go, "What's that kit you're playing? It sounds great."
He's a touring drummer. He's out on the road doing what most musicians strive to do, and he's using SJC drums. What better way to like start pushing custom drums on other bands and touring with them?
You know, you're passionate about something, you want to do it, you want to get off the ground, just you got to put everything you have and more into it.
I'm my own salesman. I'm there. You know, I didn't have to pay to be there. I'm with the band already. I can present the drums right there. I can sell the product right there. I didn't know it then, but it was such a valuable tool to create friendships first and foremost, and then business partnerships and, you know, relationships with drummers and bands.
Came across more like friends, I would say. Just, it wasn't all about, you know, about business. You know, even just the fact that it's in their grandma's basement kind of is telling about their family style.
Actually, I met Mike when he was probably 17 years old, and our bands at the time were touring together, and he was just like, "Yo, dude, I'll make you a drum set." And I was just like, "Who the hell is this kid?" You know, and everyone has retained their sense of integrity, and you know, I just think that it's awesome to see young people like succeed for the right reasons. And so, like, I will support that, you know, forever.
I never knew what I was doing. I was just doing it, which is so awesome to me now, because raw, like unfiltered, like real organic business approaches like that, I don't think ever happen. Usually it's like you have this big company dumping money, like investing capital into something, an idea. We're fortunate to have a foundation and customers and artists and family and people that keep us running now based on those humble beginnings and that foundation.
Mike and I just became friends. We started playing some shows together with his band No Trigger and my old band, The Receiving End of Sirens. We were playing hall shows and things like that. Gave it a real personal touch, you know, going to Mike's grandma's house and walking through the living room and going down the stairs, you know. Aside from the customer service being a major factor, the other thing is that they're not afraid to take chances. They've made so many creative, innovative drums, and they've tried things that companies that have been in business for decades haven't tried yet.
Butcher is Andy Mrotek from the Academy Is, Animal Upstairs.
In Worcester, right around here at the Palladium, Mike was handing out like the postcards, the promotional stuff, and I got one and kind of freaked out.
Andy, aka The Butcher, he wanted Scott and I to build him some Yamaha-style wood hoops for his bass drum.
The idea of customizing a kit had always kind of interested me.
He said, "I want to do a kit."
We started talking about different ideas for a drum set, you know, trying to work a kit for him.
And I was like, yes, this band is huge. They just sold out the Axis in Boston. I liked them a lot. Andy's great, let's do it. He goes, "I love antique, vintage stuff. I love wood. I don't like metal. I don't like chrome. I want something that you can't see the chrome on the drums."
Went through, you know, 5 different completely separate kit ideas until we finally landed on one.
He wanted to cover the lugs so you couldn't see him, and then, you know, obviously our brain started working there.
And I was like, well, you got to see the hardware. I mean, that's what holds the tension rods in the heads and everything. He went and played his set, and I'm just sitting there looking, and I was like, we just built him those Yamaha hoops. He likes wood, he likes weird stuff.
Let's do this awning type thing where you cover the lugs.
What if we built the Yamaha hoop that had an awning that came out and covered the lugs, so you literally couldn't see any lug at all? So I presented it to Scott and I said, "Can you make this?" He went and made it, wrapped it in veneer, painted it, made it perfect, put some twine in it, and that drum was done, and it was insane.
And when I got the kit, I couldn't really believe it, because I had never seen a kit like that, and that they'd actually done it.
Hands down, one of my favorite kits to this day. It was just groundbreaking. Didn't have a name for it or anything, didn't know what to call it. I go, okay, cool. Let's call them Butcher Hoops. Let's get a cool name, cool nickname, let's call them Butcher Hoops after you. And he said, yeah, done. Shook on it, and that was it.
It was phenomenal to actually see it happening.
Butcher Hoops became one of the coolest, most groundbreaking, in my opinion, things in the drum industry today. You know, we're still making tons of Butcher Hoop kits. Literally, I just sat back and I go, we gotta step it up. This is it. This is the thing that we have to do for the rest of our lives. We need to be on the edge of innovation and the most creative drum builders out there.
As the years went by, I ordered a few more kits, and then one day they just gave me one of these, which is a wood burning iron. Just sent one in the mail with an empty shell like this and said, just try to do something, go nuts. I find that burning drums is very much therapeutic in itself. So once I get in that zone, and especially with some music, I don't have to really think about anything too much. It just sort of does itself. I just hold the pen, that's about it. Generally, I'll sketch out a general image and then just line it first, and then slowly but surely start to shade it. I used to have like a very Frankenstein setup of different irons because they have a short life. They just eventually die. If you use it on a piece of wood for more than 10 minutes, the temperature will drop in half because the wood wants to absorb all of that heat. So then you have to like let it sit down for a while and just heat back up. And of course this thing, so they don't roll off of the table and start the carpet on fire. I made the mistake one time of trying to burn a shell that had lacquer on it, and that was very bad. I almost like passed out from the fumes. I burn a tree on almost every shell, and I don't really know why. I just like it. It makes me feel good. And then by the time I've finished with it, I go back in one last time and reline everything. It goes in so deep, and when you really burn it until it's black, it almost looks white. Like it catches the light. It almost makes the image kind of pop out. It's a great sense of accomplishment when I actually finish one of these things. One example is I'd done a Where the Wild Things Are drum shell. I spent maybe a day just looking at it, just slowly turning it. I almost didn't think that I had made it once it was done. Not to toot my own horn, I'm just saying I was so satisfied with the end result. So much so that I was considering holding it for ransom and not giving it to SJC.
Butcher literally was like a mentor to me. Like he lit a fire under my ass to just be the most creative drum builder and designer ever.
They've given me one more gift. I mean, and drums are one thing, but they actually helped me become a better artist. This is one more thing I can do now, and I wasn't anticipating becoming somewhat proficient in a new craft. I just assumed I just painted, you know.
He's a great friend and a great drummer and a great guy all around, and just inspires me to just be out of the box, crazy, and awesome.
I really love doing it. And again, the smell is, if you could smell it out there, you can't. It smells like a campfire. A safe campfire. Kind of safe. I've burned myself once, and that wasn't fun, but meh.
A pretty groundbreaking milestone for me as a person was the moment I went to the Palladium. The tour was Midtown, The Academy Is, Hidden in Plain View, and Matchbook Romance. That night, that monumental night that I still look back on and give such praise to so many things that SJC had went down. We wouldn't have went down so many roads if it weren't for that night. Went to the show by myself, got my little pass and went in. I met Rob Hitt, he got a snare drum from us that night. I met Spencer Peterson, he got a whole kit from us that night. I met the Butcher that night, and I met Aaron Stern, who played with Matchbook Romance, who is now in the band Drugs.
What separates SJC is without a doubt just the customization of what they can do with the drums. They're ahead of the game, I think, a little bit. SJC, easy to tune, beautiful look, great sound.
Well, all of them have played such an integral part of SJC's growth, creativity, and just passion, and just helping us get to where we are.
Yeah, good.
We're from the East Coast. We are assholes.
Let's go down!
We're stressed out.
I don't even know what time, 7 a.m. We've been driving for 2.5 days.
Hello?
We're tired. We're at the Grand Canyon. We got a half a day to get to Cali. Is there still snow? We're cold.
We kind of embrace that.
We don't have a certain schedule that we work with, and when 3, 4, 5 o'clock hits, we have to get out of the shop. Nighttime's not gonna stop you. You gotta keep going until it's done, until you can meet that deadline.
Work is work.
Getting shit done is all it comes down to, really. There's no other way you can, we get at each other's throats and stuff, but at the end of the day, we're just building drums and just in it for the same reasons.
And not everyone shares that. Not everyone has that mentality and work ethic, and we're proud to have that.
You could make the best snare drum in the world, but if you have no idea how to ship it on time, no idea how to make it on time, no idea what kind of thing he wants to achieve out of that snare drum, you don't have a company. You just have this awesome snare drum sat on your table. That doesn't mean anything.
right when Fuel by Ramen signed the band Panic at the Disco. Scott from Crush hit me up and said, yo, we've got this band Panic. They're gonna be big. Let's work out a kit for Spencer. We worked out a deal with Spencer, made him his first kit, loved it, and literally next thing you know, Panic at the Disco is on the cover of Rolling Stone, headlining tours in 5 buses.
Spencer is, like their last record was really Beatles inspired, obviously, and this is what he wants the kit to look like with the backdrop. I think that we will probably kind of play on the curviness and colors of the water. I want to probably do like an oyster wrap like Ringo Starr's kits were. I want to try and have our printer, instead of doing the oyster like diagonal like this, I want to see if they can do them at like a 45-degree angle. And I think to play on like the flowers, we use like our SJC floral logo. And he always likes wood hoops, so we'll do wood hoops, probably like some of the tans, and then kind of incorporate some of the browns and blacks and everything to kind of make them pop. I think the drum set will be sweet. Giving us a week to do it is a little much, but get to work on that one.
Spencer and Panic played on the MTV VMAs. I remember sitting in my parents' living room watching the VMAs, just so like sweating with excitement that our drums would be on national TV for the first time ever. And it was the coolest thing I at that point had ever seen or been a part of. I was just like, there's a million people watching this right now. And Scott and I made that kit in Grandma's basement next door in Dudley, Massachusetts. Just so rad.
You know, SJC has definitely strived very well in the industry through networking, becoming more involved in things, meeting people.
That face-to-face interaction can't be bought.
Meeting the drummer, actually having that connection with someone.
You can't put a price. That's huge. That's an awesome connection.
Everything will just spiral out. It's like a huge spider web that, you know, just keeps on going and going and going.
So through my connections with Fuel by Ramen and Crush, Scott sent me over another band, Gym Class Heroes, and they've always supported us 110% from the very beginning. Matt is an amazing dude, one of my favorite drummers to deal with. Even Travi, the singer of Gym Class, he's painting a drum set for us. They were that band that toured in a van. You know, all 8 or 9 of them, they had a big crew. We have this reciprocal relationship and respect for each other that we both came from that, and it's awesome.
I absolutely never thought I'd end up working for SJC or a custom drum company.
I was trying to think of ways to evolve the business and expand. How can we get more established? How can we reach out overseas and get drums over there? I had been following this company, Sound Attack, in the UK for about a year. So I reached out to them and they said, yeah, cool, let's do it. Send us some stuff and we'll check it out. And right at that moment, at that time, Panic at the Disco was going to London to play some shows. Panic at the Disco is huge. They're going to London to play some massive shows. We need them playing SJC drums. This is our opportunity. I'm gonna ship this kit to you. I need you to take care of Spencer from Panic, bring him the kit, make sure he has it. After they're done, maybe he'll sign it or something. You take that kit back and bring it to your shop and you can sell it. We get Spencer playing our drums in front of a ton of people and we'll sell a drum set and hopefully get a dealer out of it. It worked out flawlessly. We built him an awesome kit. He played awesome shows. They called me and said, we want to order a dozen kits. We maybe made a dozen kits a year at that point. From there, you know, we established our relationship with Sound Attack at that moment in a big way. We both knew that it would be a good thing to both take care of each other, and those guys are like family to me. It's more than drums, which is what it should be. It's not just about numbers and selling stuff, it's about your relationship together, and that's why it works.
My mind was blown. I had no idea who these kids were.
And that really opened my mind to going, okay, let's do this. Let's get more dealers around the world and get SJC everywhere that we can.
Nice and clean, blue. It's pretty beautiful.
I'd rather be in Worcester.
So after 6 years of making drums in Grandma's basement, we finally realized we need more room. I remember driving home and I said to myself, I'm gonna take a different way today. I'm gonna go down this road instead of this road. And I passed this huge gray barn and it had a massive for rent sign on the doors. And I said, dude, that's our new shop. That's gonna be it. We're gonna be making drums in there. Shortly after that, we hired our first employee. Shortly after that, My band No Trigger got signed to Nitro Records. It was a big step for the company and one that we wouldn't be where we are right now without.
We're here at the SJC World Headquarters, good Dudley, Massachusetts.
Bling.
This is the SJC Car Edition. Good
Bling. This is our parking lot. Scott's Whip, a 99 4Runner, black, tinted windows, 2006, 2006, 2006, 6, Matrix. No tinted windows. I got the 005 Car Edition. A 1988, 1888. Dark blue, my grandma's. Car Edition. TJ's Toyota Custom Keyhole, Avalon. See it? Get it? Got it.
Nothing but
Bling. Josh's 2008. Nothing really special about that, because Josh sucks. Ryan's little Mini Cooper. Bright yellow, sunburst. Bling.
the 97 Toyota Camry sitting on some 18, you know.
Etchel's Volvo. Stock flat black rims. What's a stock kid? The World Edition. Dudley, Massachusetts. None of that is for real.
They are two guys on opposite spectrums of the business. You have, you know, Mike, who is the guy in the office, and then you have Scott, who is the builder. When you put them both in a situation, of course they're gonna butt heads because you have one guy wanting one thing and one guy wanting another thing.
But we are such a small little company that meet up almost every single day and all working on the same product just through different steps.
But at the end of the day, it works.
Through all those little disputes and all those little things, we have that family dynamic and that organic sense of, you know, we're all best friends here.
If Scott says to do one thing and Mike says to do another, you either come to an agreement with yourself or you go to Brian.
It was actually me and Josh were one of the first employees there.
Just right. When I was a senior in high school, Scott came into one of my music classes to be a student teacher for a semester. I pestered him for about 2 years until he finally offered me a summer job to come down and help out at the shop. And one thing led to another. I ended up not going back to school and made this my life.
Warped Tour is such an important thing for all of us growing up. If you like music in that genre, which is a very big genre, you know what Warped Tour is.
Custom fab to our tent right now. No one knows where we are, so he's gonna make it say SJC for us. I was gonna do it backwards, that's all right. This is Maddie, drum tech for Set Your Goals. Kid. Nothing big.
So for us to be a part of that is so huge because it gives us cred and just puts our name in front of so many people.
We just saw Enter Shikari. Tyler, my boy, is filling in on drum stem. He's our West Coast A&R.
I go out and I find bands that are up and coming, and I introduce them to the SJC family, get them up and running, and make their life a whole lot better. They get drums done when they say they're going to be done. They do them well, and they treat everybody as if they're the company's biggest artist or smallest artist. Nobody gets treated any differently.
My roots are with Warped Tour. I've been going to Warped Tour since I was 13 years old, so that's kind of how I grew up. Kevin and all of them, they've been great to us. We're backlining the Kevin Says stage. We've got, you know, a dozen bands throughout all the stages, from the main stage to the smaller stages.
Warped Tour is huge for us, so it's going really well, and I think that that really sets us apart.
Hey, I like drum Brian more than myself. I like Mike. I'm Legs from Every Time I Die. We're all good-looking dudes. That's about it, man. Most companies are pretty ugly. There's a lot of custom companies out these days, and I can't even look at a custom kit anymore other than these guys. And it's 7:23 p.m. That's what it gets me. Hey, can we try and get AWK to stand next to him? totally chip-faced, man. That kid's chip-faced.
That's amazing.
This guy right here, Brian. His name's Brian.
Hey, Brian. This is sound asleep. To be woken up out of a deep sleep can be very startling and sometimes downright unpleasant. I've definitely had my share of rude awakenings in life. And Brian!
You know, the shows was real good, and like our bands were really good.
That place is awesome.
Was the place awesome?
The place is definitely awesome.
Like we had some lunch that was good.
We're doing a lot of good stuff with them, a lot of promo, Twitter stuff to really keep the activity going between us, you guys, and the bands.
What do you think sets SJC apart from all those other companies?
Revolutionary. Revolutionary. Seriously.
If you see SJC, it just, you know it's legit and you're excited to play and it looks great as well.
I mean, I don't know that much about drums, but for me, like, I had a lot of fun building the kit with him because you can basically make anything you want. Everything's completely custom.
There's nothing they can't do, basically, so, you know, I've never seen that with a drum company before, so, like, SJC, best.
They're really, really, really great with their artists. Like, they're artists, like, they're friends with all of their artists, and I think that's what's great about them is because they're my business partner, but at the same time, like, I know that they're a friend of mine, and I think that helps when you have a company, and having a friendship like that, it's awesome, too.
Not only is SJC awesome drums, they will do anything for you that you can think of. I've had crazy ideas. They're also just the coolest people ever. You know, they come out to every show that we have anywhere near the Massachusetts area. Anything I need, they, you know, on the drop of a hat, they'll send it out to me, and that's something that really matters. You know, drummers who are always on the go and, you know, constantly traveling.
So around the time that we moved into our new warehouse, a couple bands hit me up that were pretty influential in helping us get to that next step. One of them being Boys Like Girls. They were a Boston band, Beef. He hit me up and he said, yo, I want to try out your drums. I need the kit in a week. I want a butcher hoop kit. I want inlays, I want twine, I want custom badges, I want it all. Let's do it. This will be very good for us. Many intricacies to doing that. Scott got sick right as he was about to start staining John's drum set, and he texted me when I was at a show in Boston on a Sunday afternoon. Oh, I got that text and I go, huh, okay, that means I have to get this going. So I left the show, drove to the shop, sanded the shells, prepped them, stained them, got them ready for Scott to spray the clear coat on the next day. So I drove back to the show, did the thing, drove home, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., got home, woke up super early the next day, finished Beef's kit, got it done. They turned out to be huge, massively successful, doing arena tours with Good Charlotte. John got, 8 kits from us. Such a huge band for us to have and be a part of. I was on tour with No Trigger. We were playing at the Knitting Factory in New York City with All Time Low. It was like some random show the promoter set up. All Time Low was really nothing. There were maybe 15 kids there for them and 4 kids there for us. I remember walking in, setting up my drums, and Ryan had a different custom kit, and I went and he was like fumbling around with one of the parts on it. His hanging mount was all jacked up. Fixed it up, gave it back to him, and he was like, oh, cool, thanks, dude. And I was like, no worries. Didn't know anything about his band. After the show, we were leaving, and he came up to me. He's like, hey, man, thanks a lot again for the help. What's that kit you're playing? And I said, SJC, my brother and I are doing it. Here's my card. Hit me up if you ever need anything. He hit me up the next day, got a kit, All Time Low. Those dudes are living out, I think, every kid's childhood dream of being in a band. They're touring with every influence that they've had and that I've had. I'm sort of doing that. I'm not playing drums in front of 10,000 kids like they are, but those are our drums are, and Ryan became You know, one of my best friends, just a great dude, and like they've supported the heck out of SJC.
Hello, Vine! I met Mike years ago through John. Basically just to help them out with some photography in the early stages, like probably 7, 8 years ago. Little articles for local newspapers and stuff. Mike gave me a call just one Friday night at like 10 o'clock at night. I could tell he was like pacing around, and I was like, what's going on? And he goes, asked me to start working for SJC. I love what I do here. I love coming to work. I love my friends that I get to work with. You know, we have our ups, we have our downs, but we're all here for the same reason, and this building is filled with pride and motivation. We're all trying to push each other, and I couldn't ask for anything more.
NAMM show.
This is an awesome time for us to really dial in and create something crazy.
Everybody who's everybody in the music industry goes to NAMM.
Every single company in the music industry is here, and all the reps and people who, you know, work there, who build for those companies are all here.
If you want your product to be seen by the people who need to see it, you need to be at NAMM.
NAMM sucks.
Wanna go back home. Fucking sick of this band. You're holding it.
NAMM is awesome.
Hi. Didn't see you there. Come on in. Come on, my bed. Brad and Georgie. Kitchen. I'm waiting here for you. You got Matt. Cheerios. Some amazing tequila that Eddie brought us from Mexico. One of them broke, and it's all over his clothes in his suitcase. Then he brought us this one that has an apple in it, and it has no label on the bottle. I don't know if that's sketchy or not, but we're gonna drink it. Come on over here. Brian's taking a poop. This is the other guy's room. Travis, Matt, Brendan.
It's the National North American Musical Merchants Trade Show in Anaheim, California, every January, the second or third week of January, which sucks because we're in Boston, Massachusetts, and we have massive drum trunks of hardware and signs and literature and drums that are very fragile that would cost an arm and a leg to ship out to California. So we drive every year.
I packed a trailer till like 10 p.m. and we shipped out a bunch of stuff yesterday, so got that all done and we left a day early, but looks like we might be stuck in New York for a long time because the snow sucks.
Because this is not cool. I think it's awesome, but I smell. I'm not even going to talk about what other problems I have.
To sum up real quick how I became an internal part of SJC, started off at that NAMM show, 2008, I remember it very well. I came out, saw the drums and I was blown away, ended up buying half the booth myself. I was such a huge fan. A lot of alcohol later on, a couple years later, I am now stuck here and I want to go home.
You know, this year at NAMM, we have a new establishment. We've kind of roughed it up with some hotels the past couple of years, and you know, we thought it's time to treat ourselves. You know, we're always doing really well at NAMM show, and it's great to see everyone and have a lot of drums coming back and forth, and there's a lot of us as well. So we want a lot of room. So this year we decided to really kind of classy it up. We've got a really nice establishment. We've got some really nice beds, really nice carpets and stuff. And let me just show you guys around. This year, you know, we're really trying to kind of classy it up a bit. We've got some really nice custom-made beds, and this is a nice custom feature we just added into our room. A little bit Art Deco, but there's something that we're kind of you know, interested in. And so yeah, I mean, as you can see, this is you know, pretty classy place. We just wanted to outdo ourselves and have a NAMM in luxury, you know. So yeah, it's good fun, and we're very, very excited and very, very lucky.
I remember Mike pulled me aside at some bar. He was drunk. He pulled me aside and he's like, dude, like you should come out here and work for us. Hey, what's up? I was thinking, all right, he's probably wasted, you know, whatever. Didn't really take it too hard, too seriously. And then shop at Paul Percussion and buy an SJC kit. That's it, and that's it. Then when I got home, he sent me an email. I was like, dude, seriously, think about it. Like, let me know what you think, because this is something I can honestly see, us progressing into. I came out here for a few summers and just kind of tried it out, and everything just kind of fell into place. As tacky and cheesy as that sounds, it did. It just kind of, everything just worked out perfectly.
And as crazy and overwhelming as NAMM is, it's definitely worth it, and it's a complete experience in the end.
The first NAMM we did, PJ and I drove out here in a budget truck.
John and PJ drove to California. The rest of us flew.
I didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. No one knew what we were getting ourselves into. We could just see the website and see like pictures and stuff.
I rented a 15-passenger van in California. I got 4 hotel rooms, just a 3D embossed sign. We had a 10 by 20 booth, tons of drums. All of us were there, and it was so awesome.
NAMM brings with it an overwhelming sense of just awesomeness.
Hey, pretty.
SJC gives back.
I absolutely love it. I love being in California. I love the place. I love what NAMM Show is about. I love just being in this awesome place for a whole week, just talking drums, doing nothing but drum stuff.
We're staying at the Eden Rock. And you got wasted last night. You got Eden Rock tattooed on your foot. I got Eden Rock. It's pretty sore. Tight on my foot last night.
Who gives a flying fuck about NAMM?
So this is Brad Phillip. Brad kind of takes our crazy ideas and makes it come to life, really.
Mike came to me looking for help with redoing the website.
We're fucking back, partying our asses off. Who gives a flying fuck about NAMM?
He came across a couple of the band websites that I've done in the past, like Taking Back Sunday, Angels and Airwaves.
Made us a killer website, and I guess the rest is history, really. Like, we did the virtual kit designer, which was revolutionary.
Virtual kit designer, which was a huge project. Probably took me, I want to say, the better part of a year. I think we had probably 300 pages of code in that thing. To try and test all that and get it all working the right way was a pretty big deal. Nobody else was ever doing anything like that in the drum world, so it kind of really set a precedent for all the other companies to kind of step up their game in the web world.
We're from Boston, kid. We know how to tear shit apart.
So you go out there and you've just got like a, I want to show everyone what I do type of situation. I guess it's kind of like an X Games type of feel where everyone gets hot-headed and they want to show that they're the best, but it's also like you're having a good time and you're with the people in the industry that share that same passion that you do.
This is us, this is who we are, these are our awesome drums. Come and talk to us, meet us.
We've taken notes throughout the years on what we've wanted to see and what we really want to showcase.
You have to be there. If you're not there, you're not important in the drum industry. I'm sorry, but you're not.
I like turtles.
You want to present the most awesome, innovative, out-of-the-box, groundbreaking product so people walk by your booth and go, whoa, I've never seen that.
Or we want to push the bar. We want to put something out there that no one else has, and you want to be able to see it and be like, wow.
It's a revolving thing. The drive out to NAMM, I'm already designing drums for the next NAMM. So you come home with a stack of business cards and a wealth of knowledge and ideas that you didn't have before, and you gotta go. You just have to go to NAMM.
We're keeping moving.
Oh, I fell.
I got my start at SJC because I actually grew up loving SJC. I go to a college right outside Worcester in Dudley, Massachusetts. I hated it, and it was just the bane of my existence after 1 week. So I went home and I wrote whoever was head of the company. I didn't know at the time. It ended up being Mike. A very long, heartfelt email about how I hated my time where I was, and I would really like to, if he could be so kind as to let me come and hang at the shop. So he sent me an email in typical SJC fashion, probably back within the minute. 45 seconds I'll give him. Said, hell yeah, dude, I'd love for you to come down. I'm sorry you're having a good time. Hopefully we can turn it around for you. Went down to the shop the next day, had little butterflies, had like Dickies shorts, and like Nikes and an all-time low sweatshirt, and I was just the cat's meow in my personal opinion. And I went in and I met Mike, and I was like, Jeremy, shook his hand, just business from the get-go, just so nice, showed me around the shop, you know, had a blast, and I left that day, and he was like, yo, dude, like, honestly, if you'd like to come back and hang out any day you want, like, it's cool. I interpreted that as you can come here and never leave if you want, because that's what I did. I started coming every day and just didn't leave. And eventually I think they were like, this kid isn't going anywhere, so we might as well just hire him. That's how it's been, and that was about a little over 4 years ago.
Secret info you get by watching this DVD. Scott and I drove out to Florida to deliver a kit for Panic at the Disco, and we were filming a pilot for a reality TV show. You know, we funded it completely ourselves. We had a crew come out and film us building drums for 3 weeks. And part of that was we wanted to get Panic personally on the show, and by doing that, we drove the drums to Florida, where the tour started. So we rented an RV, picked up Spencer's brand new drum trunks, chucked him in the trailer, delivered his kit, drove to Florida, which sucked. It was for a reality TV show or not, really taught us a lot about getting things done and having to do it, and just getting to experience your drums the first night of tour, kind of breaking them in front of 15,000 kids as the curtain opens, was just amazing. Like, I had goosebumps and like chills, and the hair on my neck stood up, and I was just like, dude, that's insane. If your head's in the right spot, the rewards are unlimited. It was amazing.
I was interested in carpentry, and I obviously played drums. I was never an SJC fan until I found out that they were in Massachusetts, and I was like, oh, you know, this might be an awesome opportunity for me to get an internship here. And like, I always had this mindset that no matter how hard I try, that something will always good will come from it. So I literally went in there every day with a smile on my face and asked everybody what I should do. And when I finished that, I would run to somebody else and ask what else I should do.
What were you just doing, Matt?
Sanding about 5 drum sets.
Brian was the one that kind of gave Mike the nudge to go, this kid's really doing something, and I think he's going to be of value to the company.
We made drums for Charles Haynes. He was referred to us, and I was referred to him through our friends at Vader Drumsticks. He was playing with Kanye West at that time. He's an amazing drummer and an amazing guy. He came down to our shop and said, you know, I want you to build me, you know, a kit so I can tour with it. It was a pretty modest kit. It was just black glitter with a ginger glitter stripe, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20-inch kick drum, a couple snare drums. He called me up and said, yo, I need a backline kit in LA. I'm playing on the Grammys. And I was like, dang, dude, yeah, all right, cool. Where, when, what do you need? Let's line it up. He goes, all right, cool, I'm playing with Lady Gaga on the Grammys. I was like, dude, Lady Gaga is massive and just so huge playing on the Grammys. He goes, yo, Mike, you're not gonna believe this, but Lady Gaga is doing a collab with Elton John on the Grammys, and I'm playing your kit on it. Make sure you watch it Sunday night. So I call my dad, I'm like, freaking, our drums are gonna be with Elton John on the Grammys, make sure you watch. And I remember him and I were at my grandma's sitting there watching TV, and Lady Gaga comes on, and there's Charlie Dog playing a red backline kit on the Grammys with Elton John playing the piano, and literally zooming in on Elton John's face, and you see the SJC logo right over his shoulder the whole time. And to actually see it with my own eyes, like, that drum was in Dudley, you know, a couple months ago, and now it's behind Elton John. Such an awesome moment for us. Like, that goes so many generations. Like, that's one of my dad's favorite musicians, and there he was, like, freaking out, you know? There's really cool old dudes by the stairs, on the stairs by the club that we're loading into, and I'm gonna hook them up with some SJC gear because they keep taking pictures of us, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
How's it going? I'm Brandon Staniker. I'm the drummer of Rancid. Everything about the company, like the integrity of it, the independence of it, everything. Like, I loved it, you know? He sent me out a few drums to try out, and I was sold. You know, like, they're the greatest drums on earth. I'm convinced they're great. The primary focus is on the quality of the drum first and foremost, and it has to sound good, tune well, you know, everything. Man, they pulled it off unbelievably. Like, That's my best sounding drum set I've ever owned, and it's certainly the sickest looking kit as well, you know. And if I had to choose one or the other, I'd rather my drums sound good than look good. But SJC nailed it, and you can have great sounding drums that look amazing too, and very unique to your own style and interests.
Hey, I'm Spencer. I play drums in Black Cards. With all those other big companies and whatever, you don't get the personal attention, you know? Like, I can call Mike or Brian at like 3 in the morning, like, hey, I have an idea for an Ant Farm snare drum. I couldn't call ABC or XYZ and be like, hey, I want to do an Ant Farm snare drum. They're like, yeah, that's cool. Send us
That's crazy, man. Dude, I was just
like,
about to start a drum company. And that was the first drum I was going to make.
Yeah, awesome.
Drummers are OCD. Drummers love drums. Drummers are very particular about their gear. Building a drum is a science and an art and so many different things in one.
You can change the colors of Tolex on amps, but like the drums are the center focus of a band.
We pride ourselves on offering unlimited anything.
You customize your drum set start to finish and you get what you want. That's what we do.
It's a movement, and we all have our own specific spots, and we are perfecting those spots more and more each day.
The order comes in through George, will go to me.
You design a drum with the customer, you get the order, you lock it in.
I'll make the invoice, go out on the floor.
We then take our shells, we cut our shells down to that specific size.
Pull the parts for it, making sure you have those parts available when the drum's gonna be assembled. You get the order to whoever's gonna start it, whether it be a paint or a wrap, that the finish is the first thing that goes on the drum.
We start putting our most important touch on those drums, which is PJ's bearing edges.
We want the drum obviously to play and sound and feel and look exactly like the drummer wants.
Those bearing edges sit under the heads, and that is what makes a drum sound amazing, because the contact with the head on that edge of your shells is what's going to give you the overall tone. And PJ's bearing edges, man, are absolutely untouchable.
The bearing edges that PJ cuts, or the wrap, the finish that Josh puts on the drum, is put on with care. It's not just another drum for another customer pumped out overseas.
And he's got secrets, he's got ways that no one is even ever gonna know how to cut those edges.
You bring it to layout, PJ has to imagine what's going on that drum.
According to where the lug placement is gonna go on specific size drums, whether it be offset, 50%, 7/8.
And then John drills it.
That's when I first see a drum. I drill all the drums at SJC.
And once you drill it, there's no going back. You can't put a hole back in the drum.
Then I take them over to assembly and I put them all together.
And then you assemble it.
This is the last and final step before these drums leave our shop.
We take such care and pride in everything that we put out.
I have a specific eye and a way that I like to make sure every screw, everything on that drum is absolutely perfect. I don't let anything go unnoticed, and I tune those drums right before they leave. It's like an energy rush, man. Like, I want that drum assembled so I can hit it and tune it right before I send that out to our customer.
Take a picture of it so we can put it on our website to, you know, showcase that artist's drum, whether it's the craziest kit ever or a pretty, you know, modest looking kit, just so they're part of the family. And then we pack it and ship it out.
And it's a good feeling to get feedback from all you guys that, you know, saying that you took your drums out of your box and you're hitting it, you're not even tuning it. And that's cool because I tuned that drum.
My first kit, I took it right out the box and played Madison Square Garden. Literally out the box, set up, 2 hours later, the show started. So that says a lot right there.
What's up guys, Brian from SJC Drums here. I just want to show you a new kit we just did for Zach Hansen of Hansen. This kit's really nice, it's an oyster finish, and it's got the weathered hardware and the beaver tail lugs. We're actually using these new LED lights. I'll show you a few different options here. You can go to any color, flash, strobe, white, red, green, anything. Came out really cool and we're really excited about this, and you'll be seeing this on a lot of our future kits.
SJC is a lifestyle choice.
Every single day at SJC, whether it be a Saturday, a Sunday, or a typical Monday morning, there is so much stress.
I have had to seek therapy for it at times.
There's deadlines, there's quality control. Everything has to be perfect and on point.
I've driven home in tears before, just because thinking about what I have to do and what has to get done.
We've grown up with each other. We know each other's attitudes. We know how people are gonna get. We know each other's frustration points.
I just have this sense of I have to get it done because it needs to get done. If I don't get this done for this person, it's gonna affect 5 other people.
If something really bad happens, we're gonna talk it out. It's not like, all right, see you later, get out, you know? We started as friends, and we're continuing on as friends.
You kind of live for those moments. It makes it intense, and every time you get through it, you just have this overwhelming sense of accomplishment. You get to see a product that you put your heart and soul into and that someone else can enjoy.
You do need to step back sometimes and think, wow, I'm doing this for drums. I love drums. It's my passion. It's all I think about.
And there's stress with every kit, and the second that kit's done, a little bit of stress is gone, and it's filled with joy and excitement of seeing that product finally come together.
And the fact that I'm stressed over drums, I think I'm a pretty lucky guy to be stressed.
At the end of the day, we are all best friends and we are family, and we're making the best drums out there, and it's a qualifying feeling to all of us.
The products that we make don't just go out to somebody that called and ordered a drum set, they go out to somebody part of the SJC family, so that really gets tied into the drum set.
We offer a one-stop shop for drummers to feel part of a family, feel like they're taken care of, and they're gonna get what they want. Drummers have the biggest instrument out of anybody on stage, and it's such a personal thing. It speaks volumes of their personality and their drumming style.
I mean, before I even worked for the company, I even ordered my kit just like anyone else would, and I felt like I was part of this cool group, and I felt included in something.
We could relate to those kids. Oh, I remember when I went on my first tour, or I remember my first drum set. And that feeling really goes into the drums and really lets us relate to them. And
I strongly believe that our drums are what they are because of the family dynamic. So much heart and soul and passion goes into our work. A lot of options out there, but we sure are working our asses off to make sure that people understand that SJC is more than just another drum set out on tour with a band.
So yeah, I'm here out in Australia with No Trigger, touring for a few weeks. My main priority all the time is always SJC. That's always at the forefront of my mind, and I'm always thinking, how can I get SJC more places and bigger and better? And if you want it done right, do it yourself. What better way than sending me to Australia to meet Australian kids that already play SJC drums and are interested in SJC drums.
We're reading the review of the Blood, Sweat and Beers show in Drum Media. This is the review of No Trigger's set. No Trigger provided a little melodic hardcore by numbers, horribly whiny vocals, and a cue to go order and eat some Thai food out back. The blandness of NT was soon washed away by Coerce, whose thick, dense sound and moments to strip down, blah, 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 blah.
Skip right over something.
Yeah, they didn't like you guys at all.
Being in Australia, so far away from home, pretty much the furthest away from home that I could be, and kids, the SJC name is as prominent as it is in the States, which is awesome.
We got beers on here?
No, just whiskey.
Just whiskey.
Whiskey. Yeah, we just got a bottle of Johnny Walker.
Oh, cold beers? Is this... You guys a band?
Yes, you got it. First try. Got it.
10 points. Now you gotta take a shot.
You gotta take a shot. Come here.
Take a shot of the red label.
Come here. Get down. Get down. Help me out here. Help me out. Help me out. Yeah, someone help me out.
I got you.
Ready?
Can I hold it so I don't wear it?
Yeah, hold it.
So you don't
fucking drop it.
Why would you want to wear it?
Don't drop it.
Oh!
Yes!
It's not weak.
They have such a wide variety of crazy designs, and I couldn't believe some of the stuff I was seeing online and stuff like that. So I was really into that, and I really like that it's a super tight-knit family feel. You can call Mike, get in touch with him whenever you want, and you feel like you're really a part of the company, being one of the drummers and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool to be a part of SJC.
Right on.
What's your name?
Max.
What's your full name?
Max, no difference.
Louis?
Luigi Giovanni Castoni Ciprari. My father was drunk when he named me.
And you're Mike and Scott's grandfather?
I don't really know. How come your fingers on the lens?
Because I'm steadying it.
What?
I'm steadying it.
I usually do that when I chase a leak. Come on, I'm on the clock now, kid. $20 a second.
Hey, Grandpa, do you like Set Your Goals? Huh? Do you like Set Your Goals?
What goals?
Set Your Goals, that's the band playing down there. Do you like them?
No. No.
Why?
Is that music?
What did you do at SJC?
Huh?
What did you do at SJC?
Used to clean the toilets.
How much did they pay you?
Didn't pay me yet. Show off. Should be a coffin.
What do you think of SJC drums? Do you think they make good drums?
The drum, yeah, as long as you don't drop them. Jesus Christ. Where'd you go get the beer, New York?
You want to shotgun it?
What?
You want to shotgun it?
No, you kidding me? Get out of here.
Any closing statements?
Who?
Closing words?
Yeah. Good night. I'm tired. Bye.
As cheesy as the saying is, there's no I in team, and I couldn't be more relevant in SJC's case.
Obviously, Mike.
Mike is the owner of SJC, so this has to sound okay for you.
Mike is my best friend and has been forever. And
He is crazy.
He's a character.
Mike is crazy.
Mike and I, we're stuck in the van so much together. We were trying to get our band off the ground, and getting that band off the ground was right in the time where his business was picking up a lot.
Mike asks too many questions.
All over the place, ripping through the shop on his scooter 1 minute.
And Mike hates it when you don't let him in on stuff that's going on because he's just gonna freak out about it.
The captain of the ship, in my opinion, and he is the reason why SJC is where it is at today.
Everybody here to me is their own boss. Everybody here does what they have to do to get the job done for themselves, for everybody around them, and for the company.
Brian has been Mike's second-hand man.
He works his ass off day in and day out. Everyone sees it, everyone knows it.
Brian is the craziest worker I've ever seen in my life.
He's usually there when I leave, and when I get to work and think I'm gonna be the first one, Brian's usually already there. Brian works way too much.
I trust him with my life. When I'm gone on tour, Brian runs the show.
Brian went to college. Brian graduated with a degree. I don't even know what that degree is in, but I know it's not SJC drums.
Everyone has their job. Everyone kills their job in order for the next person to do their job and kill it.
George is amazing. George and I have become best friends over the past few years.
Yeah, he came over to me, Mike, and Brian's apartment and got wasted, and we covered him in Lucky Charms.
George is British.
So hardworking. He teaches me a lot of new words every day.
And he's 24/7, passionate, ready to go, selling drums for the truest intentions of just loving, designing, and selling drums and dealing with people. George freaking rules.
We love coming to work. We love being around our friends. We love building drums. We love seeing how the drum is gonna turn up at the end of the day.
I just emailed him like, yo dude, what's up with our equipment?
Yeah, but you're
it's right here.
They see your name on an invoice and they're just like,
Is this all that's
you better
here?
get that done now. His name holds weight in this industry.
Strader is epic in all proportions.
Strappin's always on the cutting edge of everything. Strappin's got that freshest, newest, illest everything.
The most epic person I have ever met in my life.
he's actually one of the most organized and clean and everything in its place people I've ever met.
Everything he owns or shows you is above and beyond anything you could ever imagine.
God forbid you say that bottom head is loose after he's tuned a drum. He might have a panic attack and then you guys might not be friends for a couple of months.
Whoops. Just literally one of the most intense people ever.
John's punched me in the face.
Shut the fuck up!
I can rely on him for anything. He's one of the best dudes out there and I'm very, very lucky to know him.
I love how you all think that happened. I love it. And you weren't even with me. No one was.
Gotcha? In a pinch. He's in a pickle. Where does he go? Is he going to second or is he going third?
Am I hitting a home run? Am I hitting a home run? Did I just hit a
Just head back.
Am I in world records? World records?
We all take care of each other. Mike takes care of everyone. If I have a problem, I need to go speak to PJ about it. He'll take care of me. He'll make sure that my problems are solved if he can help out.
PJ is the most loyal dude you'll ever meet.
You know, he'll come in here start to finish and just make sure stuff gets done. He's just a workhorse.
Probably one of the funniest people I ever met.
and there's such care and concern that goes into his work.
He is a mastermind at woodworking and so passionate about drums, it's not even funny.
PJ provides all the entertainment, all the sarcasm, and just the overall joy that I take in when I come to work every single day.
He's a dad. He's got a little boy, Reese.
He's brought up this amazing kid. He is insane at what he does. He has such a pride in his work.
He listens to Man Overboard way too much, though. Kind of, after a while, I'm just like, dude, come on.
Josh likes hardcore, Eminem, and mooching off his parents. Sorry, Josh, dude, I'm so sorry. I love him. I love Josh so much. Such a Brian, right? What do you think, dude? Josh?
Pop back in.
Oh, man. All right, no sympathy. Screw him.
Josh Byrne is a lazy piece of shit.
First year at NAMM, drink a whole bottle of Jack. Never seen anybody do that before.
He's definitely his own character.
I don't know if Josh got his record deal with Shady Records yet, because I'm pretty sure he was trying for that for a long time. I hear him rapping a lot.
I think he has a crush on Eminem.
Oftentimes you can look down in the laminating area and see Josh rapping a drum, doing his dubstep.
He doesn't ever change his clothes, which is awesome.
Every day. There's probably like diseases in there that you don't even know about. They're my diseases.
I've offered to buy him new clothes and he won't take my offer.
I love Eminem. He is a phenomenal rapper. I love all genres of music, but Eminem is like my favorite rapper. I could listen to his albums all day, on repeat, every day.
Jeremy, aka Drama, is the funniest dude I've ever met.
Jer Bear. I love working with myself. I think I'm my own best, co-worker.
Really slow at assembly.
Drama is the biggest goofball at the shop.
It's done. Okay. All right. I like it.
You know, he's a lot younger than I am, but I've looked up to that kid to help me business-wise and like mentally, psychologically through a lot of things in my life.
I don't like to give him too much credit, but he's definitely a funny kid and keeps the shop light.
Sketchels, McEtchels.
He's come on leaps and bounds since when he first became affiliated with the company. He was an intern.
Skegshells usually walks around with a powder coat mustache.
I'm so proud and honored to have witnessed him turn into the guy that he is now.
Brad, of course, who drinks a lot and can drink us under the table all of the time.
I need my mom! He has become such a friend through the whole thing.
And every time I've met him, he's been the man, and drunk, I think, which rules.
I don't think there's anyone else with that design touch.
And our website wouldn't be nearly what it is if it wasn't for good old Brad Phillip.
Why'd you hang up on me?
I didn't hang up on you.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. So what are you fucking up now?
We're just driving. We're driving to California. What are you doing?
I just took a shit.
Grandpa Louie is that guy that I think is keeping Mike going so hard.
Anytime I need a laugh or advice, I go to him and I call him up, and I just love spending time with him and I love hanging out with him. He's helped build drums here and just a huge supporter of this and me in the music industry doing what I'm doing. Just an awesome, crazy, fun, energetic guy.
Very unique, definitely at this time, this day and age, to have that kind of that real kind of solid security at the workplace and also in our social lives too. We're all best friends. We all hang out. We don't just punch out and then never speak to each other ever again. We all go and hang out. We all go to each other's shows. We all support each other as much as we can.
What exactly you do?
I'm a plumber. I work for Roto-Rooter and I clean pipes. This is Robin DiMaggio, Lopez the Night House drummer. What a blessing to have SJC behind me. Check this out. Follow my stick. Different, their own identity, and they're not trying to be generic.
Being a brand ourselves, I often step back and put myself in the consumer shoes.
We work with a lot of companies, definitely local to the New England area, and we do feedback a lot of inspiration. We radiate, I'm sure, inspiration to them as well, and I think it's a very healthy circle that we're all part of together.
Because me being at the forefront of the company, whether it be marketing or production-wise, I have to be the guy kind of steering the ship in our 5-year plan.
Glamour Kills to Start has been nothing but awesome to us. We've known them for a long time.
Marky, he's my age, doing the same thing we are, just making clothes.
We've done collab with drums and stuff with them.
They're like family members to us.
Johnny Cupcakes, same thing. Johnny, from Boston, became very close friends with him.
Johnny personally has always, he's invited us to his house for carving pumpkins or Christmas parties and stuff like that. So
I even went to a lecture Johnny Cupcakes did, and he really went into depth about how he achieved what he achieved.
Ollie from Drop Dead became really close friends with him. They'd send us t-shirts, we'd make them drums, we'd do collabs together and co-brand to show kids that we're not just making drums for consumers, we can do it for anything. We can put anybody's logo, customize it in any way, and it's just a really good one hand washing the other thing for us and those companies to expand into different fields. So after a few years in the Dudley shop, we needed more space once again. And we are now in a 15,000 square foot warehouse where we've each got our own office. Every part of the drum building process has its own room, and it's just amazing. Being here has allowed us to grow leaps and bounds beyond any of our expectations. We're so excited to be here and to have the opportunity to be building more drums more efficiently, being able to hold more inventory to build drums quicker. It's just a great thing to grow the company, and we're so excited for what the future brings.
For breakfast, yeah, a little moonshine. And see a sip. On that in the van under one of the seats. Show us. Oh my God.
That's the print on it.
Like a cigar, just put it in your mouth and get the tape.
Not on that. That's how I was schooled.
In there all summer.
That's been there since last NAMM.
Being in SJC at this current state in SJC life is an absolute whirlwind. We are this insane shop. We have the most amount of space we've ever had. We still have the handmade craftsmanship of those drums. We have the personal guy getting back to you through email. So everything is still the same, it's just on such a bigger level, which is helping us achieve more things. And it really is, it's snowballing into this huge thing when everyone's just busting out.
Being at the old shop was great, obviously helped the company grow to a point, but when you get to a space capacity, you can't really grow much further. So we found this place and really did it quickly because we needed to. You can't really stop a moving train. We were on track to make more drums. We had friends and family and everyone helped physically move us and get back in this shop to start making drums. It was a whirlwind of a couple days, but it was great.
We're able to lock it down and make it happen and make it work and really take the company seriously to the point we can progress onto the next step and we can elaborate this company and we can just keep moving forward.
We never set out and had like a mission statement or any of those things that I guess a up-and-coming business does and the proper steps to get a loan or whatever.
We have a very certain way of doing a lot of things at SJC.
When you're a kid, somebody tells you not to touch the stove, but you touch it. And then you know not to touch it because you burn for a week. We learned that same way by doing things the wrong way first, and then going, okay, now I know the right way to do it.
He really puts into perspective what's important from an outsider's point of view.
Customer's always right. That is definitely one of the main things I've ever learned at SJC.
Customer being your main priority, making sure they're happy, because if they're not happy, we're not happy.
The schedule that we're on is the customer and the artist. We're not on our own schedules. We put in the time and make sure the stuff gets done.
No one gets to see what we do. Everyone sees the finished piece. We get to see it start from nothing and become what it is, and that's the joy of it.
We put in our hours to make sure the drums are done for our artists and for our customers. That's how we work.
We don't have contracts with our drummers. We never have, we never will, and our drummers play our drums because we take care of them. I care so much. This is my baby. I've seen everything that has happened inside SJC. Good, bad, awesome, crazy, stressful. Just, dude, I keep doing it because the good outweighs the bad. I enjoy going to shows and looking up and seeing a band playing SJC drums. Whether it be the kit that I saw that Scott and I made in Grandma's basement 10 years ago, or it's a kit we just made yesterday that's on TV now because we made it in a day and Miley Cyrus is playing it on TV. That's the American dream, to have your own business and have it succeed. And we're so fortunate to be, you know, I'm a nerd. I would drive around. I would Craigslist warehouses when I was younger, and I would drive around and just look at them and go, man, that's awesome, you know? And we're here doing it. 5 quick tips from Chip on running a successful business. 1, prior planning. 2, networking. 3, organization. 4, brand awareness. And 5, communication. If you have those things set in place and you follow through with it, anyone can do anything. You can set your mind to doing anything that you want as long as you have those things as your core values and you actually follow through with them. You know, you can set your mind on anything and actually make it happen.
Tons of shit in the tortilla wrap and then stuff fries in there, cause that'd be like an orgasm in your mouth. I think I'm just gonna go get some ranch at the ranch market later.
John Richard Strader. Straderisms.
Straderisms are kind of hard to explain.
Oh, excitement! Last Monday, I split my finger open. This Monday, got equipment.
Is your head out? I don't know, but your earplugs match your shirt awfully fucking. He planned that. He planned this a week ago.
You got Hidden Valley or you a craft market?
Calling him a character is an understatement.
You have Newman's or craft? Cause I'm just trying to get some rent. Oh, are you a 99-cent ranch store? I'll take 5. Oh, Jeremy. Oh, quail eggs? Yeah, who eats? Oh, yeah. I mean, we all do.
This little beer thing.
I mean, what the heck? No, this is so weird. Oh, I'm going to go grocery shopping in my toilet now.
John Strader is very intense.
The last time this happened, I put your fucking head through a wall.
John Strader is sincere about everything he does.
He could come in with a lollipop and he'll tell you that it's the greatest lollipop he's ever had and it came from Switzerland from a guy with one arm who works every day, 9 hours a day to make this one lollipop.
$7 for a double-double at Nam? Oh, $3.20 at the store? Oh, profit?
Just epic proportions of everything.
He's one of the few people left still puts their foot up on the monitor when he's playing guitar.
John Strader invented punk. That's all I have to say.
Within 10 seconds of meeting John Strader, you'll know who John Strader is and you'll know Straderisms.
Man, I need a DVD in itself for Straderisms. It's been such a long road doing this. It makes us so proud and so anxious and excited to see what the future brings for SJC. In conclusion to this whole entire DVD madness, we thank you for your support and watching us grow, watching this DVD. We really couldn't do it without you, and we can't wait to see what the future brings and be able to share that with you as well. From the bottom of my heart, appreciate it, and later. Listen, here's the end of the whole story. I guess, massive enough,
I said, fuck.
What's driving me crazy is this motherfucker Tan keeps prank calling me every night, waking me up.
Michael, this is Tan. You call carpet removal?
And just really bad at run-on sentences.
And it's really. I'm losing it right now.
I guess, massive enough,
Dude,
keep it up. Where were we?
We're put him on the
just really bad. Your legs smell like vinegar, dude. Oh, bad at run-on sentences.
we did.
And I go, I'm not driving to Costa Mesa because by the time I get there, it's gonna be midnight by the time I get back.
Film to pull a tip on his
I'm like, that's over an hour of my night. I love to hang out, but dude, I can't fucking drive you this.
My name is Chip Ferrari. I got way too many fucking plans tonight.
PJ, shut the fuck up. You've said plenty.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Oi, oi.
The fucking angry face kills me. I'm getting out of this bed. This is disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Yep. Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Chip here. I'm gonna give you a tutorial on how to scream. Did you see the grit at the end? You can do so many different things at the beginning and all of that.
Embarrass me in front of my friends? Don't think so.
Brad, you owe Brian $136.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yours.
Every time you buy it from me, I'll give you a sandwich.
If you want a fucking quality drum set, you go with SJC.
I think it's not focused. Let me focus this.
You want a fucking quality drummer, you go with Cole Ingram.
Don't fuck with it. I'm trying to get it focused. For what?
Does anybody really want
fucking driver's license? I don't even know why I'm driving right now.
Startup Brothers!
Etchels, if you just had one wish, just one dream, what would it be?
For you not to fucking videotape me and ask me questions. Sorry, that was 2 wishes.
It's really pissing me off. I'm pissed on, I don't know which. Don't let the little itch on the ass on the way out. Alright? Call me collect, you cheap bastards. Bye. Hope you're having a good day. Hope it rains all day. It's snow and ice. Right? Then you get a flat tire on the way home. The next day you're out of gas. And I hope you don't get a hat on for a month. Alright?
Dude, my lines aren't the cleanest, but I'm definitely getting good at those sale graphics.
Fucking MS Paint over here. Fucking guys open up Janie McCarthy porn and turn it into bitmaps.